Hey guys, Cam here from today's iPhone.com, and this is my review of the Pebble Steel. Now, unlike the original Pebble, the Pebble Steel is made predominantly of metal and glass, at least the main body is. You'll see it's got a really nice solid square design made entirely of steel, and on the front here we have a panel of Corning Gorilla Glass, so it's really well protected, really nicely made. Now it comes shipped with either a leather and a metal strap. You can choose either or, and you can use your local watch shop or try and do it yourself if you want to actually swap the straps out. Now what I love about the leather strap is obviously with it being so thin and lightweight and flexible, actually putting it on your wrist feels a lot like just putting on a regular watch, and because of the relatively small size of the body, it still doesn't feel any larger than a regular watch would. And I think that's a great thing for a smartwatch to have, because what you don't want is to have something on your wrist that's gigantic. In terms of buttons around the outside, you've got one on the top left-hand corner here, and you've got 3 on the right. And what I really love about these is that they're incredibly intuitive. So they kind of do what you would expect them to do. The middle, smaller one here is your select button, like you would think, and it takes you to the menu. Then the top and the bottom ones will navigate up and down. Now the top left one obviously is your back button, so you go back, and again these scrolling buttons work if you wanted to scroll through your various watch faces as well, and those are loaded through the Pebble app. The display itself is a 1.26 inch e-paper display. It's got a 144 by 168 resolution. And what that means is, obviously it's not incredibly sharp, it hasn't got lots of colours, it's just black and white e-paper display, but it's built that way because it's really high contrast and you can see it really well in daylight. Everything is always clear on the display, whether it's a notification or your watch face itself. It's really easy to read, you don't have to struggle like you would with other types of display. The great thing about the Pebble now is that you have the Pebble App Store, and using that, you can install various third-party apps onto your phone, and they can be small mini games, or they can be useful apps like Foursquare or Yelp, or even a Yahoo Weather watch face. And you can also choose a variety of watch faces. Now, where you might find that the Pebble is slightly limited is that you can only have 8 apps or watch faces installed at once. There just simply isn't enough memory in the device for you to have any more than that. So you need to choose which ones you like the most and kind of stick with those. So you really need to be very selective about what you want to install into your Pebble. Now to actually install stuff is really easy. You browse through the Pebble App Store and you look for apps, and then the ones that you want you simply tap on, and then you can add it by hitting the add button in the top right corner. And then when you go to actually manage your Pebble watch, you can hit My Pebble, and you'll see a list of what's installed onto your phone. And if you want to delete something off your phone, that's really easy too, just by tapping on it and unload it from your Pebble, and that's it. But anything that you've already downloaded or used will be stored in your locker in the bottom hand of the screen. You can load them back onto your device whenever you feel like it. So I can load it back on, and as you load it you'll see like a green translucent progress bar go all the way up your phone screen. Now you can change various settings depending on which app or watch face you are using. You can hit the settings button. Normally you'll have the option to invert the colors where it'll have black predominantly and then the white text, or you can have it with a white background and black text, and then you can change things like the date format, hourly vibration on watch faces. And installing the apps and managing them and changing the settings really is very simple, and the options for changing will depend on the particular app or watch face that you are using at that time. Now what you'll notice on the actual watch itself is that the buttons do different things depending on which app you're on. So for instance, if you go into the music app, you'll notice that the top and bottom buttons on the right hand side will help you to skip tracks, whereas the middle button will play the track. And again, back button is always back. You can also check through your notifications by scrolling through the history. And again, you can go back to the main menu. You can set alarms, change your watch faces, and the default settings, for instance, switching Bluetooth on or off, managing the different settings in your notifications, like switching them on or off, having do not disturb enabled, or even switching vibration off or changing the font size is all possible through the menu on the actual Pebble watch. Display options include having a backlight or using motion to engage the light. You can switch those on or off, and also you can change date or time manually if you want to. Otherwise, it syncs with your iPhone. Now, in terms of notifications, what you'll notice is that anything on your phone that you have set up as a notification to come through your lock screen, through Notification Center, will show up. Now, if we talk about performance quickly, battery life, I guess, is the big one, and it is fantastic. It gives a recommended life of about 5 to 7 days. Me personally, I charged it on the first day about 4 or 5 days ago, up to 100%, and I've still got about 30% or 20-30% of the battery left, so I'm easily got another 1 or 2 days. So it does exactly what it says it's going to do. So the battery is fantastic, and charging is as easy as clipping on the proprietary charging clip onto the side, which is magnetic, so it just clips on like a MagSafe MacBook charger. My overall thoughts then, I guess, I haven't reviewed a ton of smartwatches, but I think one thing that Pebble has, which a lot of them don't, is that it feels like you're wearing a regular watch. It looks great. The Pebble Steel is the smartwatch for grown-ups because it doesn't look like a geeky plasticky toy anymore, and yet it still has all the same features that you would expect from a Pebble, which made it kind of geeky in the first place. But if you're more design orientated and you don't want a bright plastic chunk on your wrist, then the Pebble Steel is one way to go. These are available now for $249 on the Pebble store. Waiting times are quite long because there's low supply and high demand, but they're available in this matte black or a silver color. I've been Cam. If you want to ask me any questions about this, I'm at TIP_Cam on Twitter. I'll see you again soon.